What's up, guys? It's Pompey. You can also call me Ray. I'm here in Chicago, and I'd like to talk to you about my first video tutorial series. And this is going to focus on mixing hip-hop in Ableton. Not mixing in the DJ sense, because I'm also was a DJ for over a decade, but in the sense of what happens on a music production between arranging and producing and before mastering. So the mix down, as it were. That's what I mean in the sound engineer sense, the way they mean mixing. So not just mixing things together, but also applying effects, compressors, saturators, all that good stuff. How this came about, there were two things that were the impetus for me doing this at this point in time. One is a couple days ago was Dynamic Range Day. Happy Dynamic Range Day, everyone. Look into that. Look into the loudness wars if you don't know about that. That's really interesting stuff from the sound engineer world. And also a friend of mine named Cooper Lee, who's been a producer longer than I have, but hasn't used Ableton as long or in as many ways. Called me up and asked me, hey, I'm working on this track with our mutual friend Zach Hutchinson, and I was wondering, am I getting the vocals as good as I could on this? And I said there are probably some things you could do with this. Why don't you just zip up the project, send it to me? And he did, and I got in there. He asked me because I had just put out my first solo album, Reinventing The Wheel. Check that out on Bandcamp or djpompey.com. And so he knew I had kind of taught myself over the course of finishing that album all the mixing, mastering stuff, at least enough to get by in underground, And I opened up his project, and sort of all of what I had been learning over the last, 6 months about that kind of came rushing back, and I realized, I could, do this. And I'm thinking, how am I going to show him all this stuff? We're not in the same city. And I realized, this is a great time to start doing those screencasts I told myself I was going to start doing. So I asked him for permission. Cooper let me use his track for this. So hopefully it's not too embarrassing for him. And you can see me sort of take this track step by step from where a basic beat sketch has been made and vocals laid over it to something that sounds a little more like a polished, cohesive track that you can play on earbuds, that you can play on headphones in your car or whatever, hopefully. So that's how it's going to be. It's divided up video by video. So if you know the first topic, if you know about grouping and labeling tracks and all that, then you can skip right to vocals or whatever it is you're interested in. So check the video titles. And I've got 5 of them done right now. There's going to be a few more after that. I hope you really like it. There's a lot of Ableton resources out there on YouTube and other places that are really great, but most of them are not focused on hip-hop. Especially the ones are on hip-hop, mostly just the production angle, not even the mixing and mastering stuff. So shout out to Bass Gorilla, shout out to Vespers, because they are my 2 by far favorite resources to learn about the ins and outs in Ableton. They just happen to focus on EDM genres, which is a bigger base in Ableton, but they're EDM producers. They're the best at sound design, really. That's all they have. That's what they do everything with. So I still think that makes Ableton a really good tool for sound design. And if you can make bass lines and tracks out of thin air and synthesis and sound design all those, you can definitely make some samples sound good, and you can make some pretty good hip hop with synth too. All right, so that's where I'm coming from with this. If you're a hip-hop producer, come learn to be a hip-hop sound engineer a little bit here. And, if you like it, please leave a comment, some suggestions. What do you want to see me do? Is there a way I could present this in better ways? I'm not quite at Vespers level yet, And if you wanna support, you can go to Bandcamp. You can even listening to my album would be supporting, but hey, who knows? You might even buy it. So thanks a lot, guys.